All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Friday, officially Friday. Gonna be shipping out some orders today. We got, I think, 15 orders going out the door from eBay, Poshmark, and we got a Depop order from yesterday. So, yesterday started out super slow. If you saw my post that I posted on Instagram and Facebook, eBay was having an issue with photos yesterday. So, it wasn't your phone, it wasn't your eBay account, it was everybody's eBay account. Basically, all the photos were like gone on most listings, or if you went into one of your listings, you only had one singular photo. So nobody was buying anything on eBay because obviously they couldn't see what they were buying. So like my eBay was dead, and usually I get offers throughout the morning and things like that. But yesterday my offers were completely dead. What's up, Juliet? So I was like, what the heck is going on? And then Trisha in our group chat said that eBay was having issues with photos, and I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense because literally nothing, no offers, no purchases, nothing. And as soon as it got fixed, after I made that post, within like 15 minutes, it got fixed. I think it was broken for about 6 hours yesterday. I didn't notice until that group chat message, and then right after that, I posted that, and then immediately after, I was getting sales. So yesterday turned out to be a really good day because after that turned back on and all the photos were on, and basically my sales were like boom, 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 just kept coming in all throughout the night. So worked out to my advantage, although it would have been nice to get sales in the morning. But I think everybody who is trying to buy something on eBay came in after that. Maybe eBay fixed something because I got way more sales on Thursday than I usually do. But it looks like everything's fixed. So if you had that issue yesterday, it looks like everybody's account is fixed. What's up, Faith? Welcome in. So we're gonna be shipping out orders today. Again, we got Depop, we got Poshmark, we got eBay orders. That's why we stress cross listing because, like I said, that had that big issue on eBay. If that wasn't fixed for, let's say, like a week, at least you're able to make sales on another platform if you do cross list. So we were able to make some sales, although once they got it fixed, eBay took off like a rocket yesterday. My nose is super itchy this morning, by the way. So if you see me scratching my nose, it's because I'm having some allergy issues. What's up, Hope? All right, let's go ahead and start shipping. We're going to ship out some Depop orders first. I feel like I'm going to sneeze here in a second. I got way more sales yesterday too. Weird. I hope it keeps going like that because I enjoyed having all of those sales. As soon as they fixed it, it was like boom. Like somebody turned the switch on my store and it was just like sale, sale, sale. I actually didn't have many offers yesterday. I had like all like full price purchases. So hopefully they maybe they were fixing something in the background with photos and Google image search. I don't know what they were doing, but they were doing something because everybody's photos got messed up and then everybody had good sales. First item that we're shipping out, this is a Callaway golf dress. We sold this over on Depop. Let me slide you guys over really quick. We sold this over on Depop. What do we pay for this? We paid $10 for this at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. We picked this up like probably about 6 months ago. We've had these listed. We picked these up in the middle of winter, so obviously they weren't selling in the middle of winter. But now that it's golf season, these ladies Callaway pieces are starting to move. And this one sold for 24 bucks over on Depop. I made a profit of $12.46 on this. This one's just going to go right into a poly bag and ship out. If you guys had any cool sales too, feel free to drop them in the chat. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you like the live either before or after. And then if you're watching this on replay, let me know in the chat. Just say replay in the chat. And of course, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to ask. This is a good time to get all your questions off. Appreciate everybody who came out to the Whatnot show last night as well. All of your orders have shipped. All the stuff you see behind me is stuff that we didn't actually run. So we have a couple suits and blazers left. We'll probably run those on next Tuesday's show. I didn't want this show to be super long. I could have ran everything, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make this really easy shipping. So next Tuesday, we're probably going to do another clear out show. We'll have more clothing on that show, and then we'll have a bunch more suits and blazers. Seems like you guys like the suits and blazers. I brought some really good ones just to blow out. It helps us not have to move them. So what's up, Dora? D the God, welcome in. What's up, Surfs? Surfs is here. Surfs, aren't you like shopping right now? What are you doing watching me in the thrift store? Go find something to sell already. All right, next up we got women's pants. These are called I Ride On pants. Kayla picked these up at a thrift store. It's a good like equestrian like riding brand, I guess. I don't really know much about these, to be honest. Kayla does. These sold for $25 over on Poshmark. Had a crazy sale yesterday. 300 Marlboro codes for $43 sold in less than an hour. What are Marlboro codes? I don't smoke, so I have no clue what those are. I have no clue what those are. Doc Martens Day of the Dead boots from Red, White, and Blue for 100, sold for $375. Let's go. Hey, you paid up for those. You deserve that sale. A lot of people would pass on that, but you paid up for it, so let's go. South Pole shorts, size 48, sold for 40, price 3. So good flip right there, Mitch. South Pole shorts, some of them, vintage one especially right now, are like super hot. That and like Jinkos and stuff like that. So if you can find the right ones with like the big South Pole embroidery on the back, they're doing really good. So nice little pickup. Usually it's the jeans and not the shorts. Must have jean shorts obviously, but usually it's the jeans that go for that much. Some of the jeans can go for hundreds, by the way. So look out for South Pole, especially vintage ones. Well, the newer ones I wouldn't really look out too much for. It'd be mostly the vintage ones. Next up, we had a bundle sale over on Poshmark. We sold this men's Callaway polo and this men's Callaway polo. Both of these we picked up at TJ Maxx and Marshalls for $10 and $13 each, 10 for one, 13 for the other. So $23 total. And then I got a best offer for both of them for $50. I think I had them listed for like $65, but this person offered $50. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take that offer, move these items. So that is a nice little Posh bundle right there. A lot of people. What's a lot of people? Good morning, Bobby. What's up, Bobby? Literally sitting at my desk at work watching you ship stuff. Let's go. Just chilling at work. That's the way to do it. Tell your boss you're taking time off to watch the live. I just sold a trash Sony CyberShot camera for $70. Listed 5 minutes ago. Screen is cracked. Crazy. Can't get anywhere on the menu. Let's go. Hey, some things sell for parts and good. Or what is it? Parts. 4 parts only on eBay. I don't sell much hard goods, so but nice. Some of those cameras can go for big money too. I'm sure if that thing was in pristine condition, you probably would have got a couple $100 for it. Do you add extra protection on your sold item if you ship over 100? So that is a good question. I've answered this one a couple times. I'll answer it again because I don't get it too often. The only time I add extra insurance on the item is if I paid up for the item. Let's say I paid $100 for the item and I sold it for $300. Then I might add extra protection because my buy cost is high. But if I bought it for $5 and I sold it for $200, I automatically get $100 of protection whenever I ship with USPS, and that's pretty much what I ship with eBay. So I wouldn't add extra protection because if anything happened to that, I could at least redeem that $100 protection, and the post office would give me that money for that issue. So I'm not going to pay extra because I'm already making a profit if some issue happened with it. But again, if I paid up for it, or if it was like a really expensive item, if it was like $1,000 sale, of course I'm going to insure that, even if I paid only $5 for that, because that insurance is crazy. I'm going to get a huge chunk of money for that issue if an issue arises. But if I paid $5 for something, it sold for $150, I'm just going to use the regular insurance and not pay for that extra. Because I'll tell you, out of all the times I've bought extra insurance, 0 times have I actually had to use it. So there's higher of a chance of you overspending on insurance on every single $100+ item than there is actually using that insurance on that item. So I choose not to. It's a very, very rare occurrence that something happens, especially if you pack it correctly. How do you know South Pole is vintage? Any specific signs? Just look at the tags. If you look up online vintage South Pole tags on Google, you'll probably have like tons of posts showing exactly what the vintage tags look like. There's the newer tags, so just look up what South Pole is currently making or has made over the last few years, and then go look at the old vintage tags. Easy to search on eBay too. Just go on eBay and type vintage South Pole jeans and just scroll through and see what all the tags look like. Good karma came my way. Made a lot of sales while doing jury duty. Let's go. Jury duty. That's always fun. I've done jury duty I think once, and I got chosen for the first one time I went. I got chosen. Kayla got chosen last time she went too. Yeah, it sucks. I think she got chosen, didn't she? I'm pretty sure she did. Did you have a Whatnot show this weekend? Do I have Whatnot shows? I have 2. I have one on Saturday, one on Sunday. We had one yesterday too. For some reason, it didn't connect to my Facebook or YouTube. So those on Facebook or YouTube, you probably had no clue I was doing a Whatnot show. There's some issue with Whatnot. They just did a big update on Whatnot, so that might be the reason why. But yeah, we have 2 shows this weekend. We have an all consignment show on Saturday. Really, really, really crazy stuff, including insane ties, because the person saw what you guys were paying for ties. You guys really like ties, so we bring in like crazy good ties. I'm talking insane stuff. So come out this weekend. It's a very small portion of ties. All the rest is like really, really, really good stuff. Anyone seeing a lot of lowball offers on items lately? I feel like earlier this year people would buy. So earlier this year people had probably money from taxes, from Christmas, from holidays, and they were able to buy full price. And this is the time of year where summer slowdown happens. It happens every single year. You'll see over the next like 2-3 months, there'll be a whole bunch of posts from resellers complaining about how slow sales are, how reselling is dead, how everybody's got to go find a normal job. That happens every single year. And this is the portion of the year where the lowball offers start coming in because people don't have that excess money that they had around Christmas time. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just keep listing. If you don't have any wiggle room on your items, just decline the offers or counter high. But yeah, it happens every single year. I'll say this every year after the summer slowdown, when it picks back up around Christmas time, everybody's super happy all over again because everything starts selling again. So yeah, it's part of the game. Lowball offers are part of the game. This is why we sell lower dollar items too. A lot of people say why are you selling Ralph Lauren for $22.99? It's because $22.99 is a perfect price point for somebody that just needs a nice dress shirt and will buy it. And they're not going to pay $100 for a Brioni shirt when they can buy a Ralph Lauren shirt for $22.99. So it's good to have a mix of both lower end items and higher end items in your store, in our opinion. But if someone paid $300 for an item and then it got damaged, then you'd be out $300 even if you only paid $5. Correct. But again, out of all the times I've insured items, I've shipped items for $300 without insurance. I have never, ever, ever once had to do a claim through the post office. Now, we sell mostly clothing, so the chances of something getting damaged is much, 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 much lower. But if we were selling hard goods, like a bunch of radios and computers and things like that, then of course I would insure those because there's a way higher chance of those getting damaged. But again, I have had to claim 0 claims through the post office for damaged items. Again, we sell mostly clothing, so this is mostly geared towards clothing sellers. But if you are selling a hard good and it's $300 and it's super fragile, then insure it if you feel like insurance is needed. But also track how many times you paid for insurance and how many times you used it. Because if you only use it, let's say you claim it one time a year for a $300 item, but you also used insurance on all items you sold for over $100, and that added up to $1,000 worth of insurance, then do you really need to pay for that insurance, or can you just take that $300 hit and just claim that $100? You're only out $200 instead of, let's say, $1,000 on all the things that you insured. So make sure you track that too, because if you track it and it doesn't make sense, don't insure it just to be safe. Sometimes insurance is just there to make you feel better, but it actually doesn't benefit you at all. It's my first year doing eBay, so it makes sense. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, you'll have summer slowdown. Every retail store has the same thing too. This is the time of year that everybody's on vacations. They're not really buying stuff. Also, things like jackets sell for way more than t-shirts and polos sell for in most cases. So that affects your profit margin. Like on Whatnot, when we're selling jackets, we're going to be selling jackets for way more than we're going to be selling polo shirts for. We just our profit and our average sales price is higher during wintertime. It usually always is. I file on claims 3 times in 6 months. I sell a lot of breakables. Yes, if you sell breakables, I would 100% insure those. But again, track it. If you're paying way more in insurance than you are actually claiming on the claims, then I wouldn't do that. But again, I sell mostly clothing, so that's my take on that. All right, let's get back to shipping. We got some eBay orders going out. We had a total of 12 eBay orders. So yesterday was a really good day. Popped off as soon as they fixed all the issues with eBay. So here we have a men's Polo Ralph Lauren simple polo shirt, short sleeve. Picked this up locally in a bulk buy for $8. This one sold for $27. It's one of the nicer, softer polos, so I listed a little bit higher and got that sale. Again, if you guys are just hanging out in the chat, make sure you drop some comments in the chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. You see that Salvation Army in Florida is live streaming and whatnot? I did see it, and to be honest, they're running a bunch of junk. If you watch the stuff they're running, I was watching it for 2-3 hours yesterday. Or not 2-3 hours, 2-3 minutes. I was in there for a little bit. But I was noticing some of the stuff they were selling. They were selling a Lulu's dress, and they started it at $10, and nobody bid. It's just, they're selling a bunch of garbage. Do I think it's going to affect the market? Absolutely not. I think Salvation Army gets so many goods that it's not going to be like they're going to cherry pick all the good stuff, especially if they're running Lulu's dresses and other things that just don't have much value at all. They were running a Michael Kors polo starting at $10. I was like, man, Michael Kors polo for $10? Nobody's going to bid on this. And sure enough, nobody did. So they're going to really have to learn the market to be able to affect the market. And that's going to take way too much time and way too much training to figure that out. They would have to hire somebody like us who resell to be able to sell those goods and cherry pick those goods. But they would have to pay us so much money that it wouldn't make sense. So I'm not really too worried about it, but I find it funny, all the stuff that they're running. I just see it, I'm like, man, it looks to me like red, white, and blue. And red, white, and blue prices up a men's Eaton shirt for, what do they price those at? $100. And then you go online and look them up on eBay and they only go for like 20 to 25. You're like, what, where'd you get this from? Why are you pricing that so high? Chrissy said, how many items do you recommend for your first Whatnot show? As many as you're comfortable with. If you can only load up 20 items, load up 20 items. Don't go overboard. I would say keep your first show very, very small because you're learning how to run the show, and then afterwards you're going to learn how to ship the show. So you don't want to run 100 items and be really, really happy you sold 100 items, and then afterwards take like 7 hours to try to ship all 100 of those items. So keep it small, and then grow into a bigger show as you go. Thanks for answering your question last night in your Whatnot show. Let's go. If you guys ever have questions, feel free to drop them anywhere where I am. I'm Refresh Finds. Appreciate you for doing the sponsored giveaway too. We got a little card we're gonna ship out to you. Kayla's gonna write it though, because if I write it, people have gotten my cards, they can't read my handwriting. So, what's the name of their Whatnot show? It's just if you look up Salvation Army on Whatnot, it should be one of them that pop up. I don't know exactly what their name is, like Salvation Army of Southwest Florida or something like that. But yeah, they're usually on the top of the feed because I think they're promoting their show too. Would you consign with Salvation Army if they provided the inventory to sell on your Whatnot? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? If Salvation Army, if Red, White, and Blue, if they asked me to come into their store and sell items for them, I probably would do it. I don't think there's an issue with that. Same as like Plato's Closet. I've already reached out to a Uptown Cheapskate in my area. Told them if they have good stuff, I'll come in and I'll run a show directly in their store. What I'll do is usually what I do is I would run those items in their store, and then whatever it sells for, like whatever their sticker price is, I would get 70% of that sticker price. So I'd pay, if it's a $10 item, I'd pay $7 for that item, and then I would keep any additional that goes over 10. So if they have like really good stuff priced at $10 and it ends up running up to 30 on my show, all I did was pay $7 for that item. They're happy because they sold that item on their floor. They only had to take 30% off, and then I would get the additional. That's how I would run that show. And then I would just go to the register afterwards. I'd ring everything up, and then they would just mark it down 70% from whatever that cost is. That was my idea. I tried to work with Uptown Cheapskate, but the brands that they have are not very good. A lot of the brands are like mall brands that don't really resell very well. They do in the local market, but not online. And we can never work it out where I could do that. But I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do it in my own store too. If I ever was able to save up enough money and get enough resources to where I could open my own store and do that within my own store, I think it's a no-brainer to open like a Plato's Closet or like a Uptown Cheapskate kind of vibe store, and then just do online auctions with everything that you purchase locally. Eventually I want to do that, but not anytime soon. Next up, we got a Lacoste shirt. This is a men's size 42 Lacoste. I list these just like I list Ralph Lauren shirts for $22.99 plus ship, and this one sold. This one's been listed for a little bit though. They can sign with resellers that know their stuff. They 100% impact the stuff that stores possibly, but again, you have to understand. If you like, most resellers can't even imagine how much these stores have. If you ever go, there's a Goodwill in my area that has a big back room that has a sliding door. I think I put it in one of my recent YouTube videos in the past. But if you walk in that store, they literally have mounds, like literally pallets, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. They have a little tiny small part of the store, and then they have like a huge warehouse in the back, literally stacked up to the roof with pallets, like thousands and thousands. Like, I couldn't even imagine how much clothes in there. That's only one store. That's literally one store in the area that has that much stuff. There's no way, like everybody who complains about resellers and how if we're putting out the videos, we're killing the market, killing our home market. You just have no way of even fathoming how much clothing there is out there. It could never affect the market. They would have to cherry pick all those pallets. The amount of labor and cost that would involve is so astronomically high that it wouldn't make sense to do that with all the pallets. They'd rather just sticker the items and put it out to the sales floor because they make more money that way. But I get what you're saying. Consignment, would it affect the market? No, because I would have to actually go in and cherry pick the items. Kind of like Flip the World does. Flip the World goes into these rag houses, he goes into the Goodwill bins, he cherry picks his own items and then runs them. So that's the deal that I would have to have with them, because I wouldn't just run the stuff that they consign to me. I don't even do that with resellers. Like when resellers reach out to me, and they want to do consignment on our Whatnot shows, they'll send me a list of 100 items, and I'll only take like 10 to 15 items at a time, because the 90 plus items that they have that they tried to send to me usually are a bunch of junk that won't really resell well on Whatnot shows. And the same brands that sell on eBay don't resell well on Whatnot. So it wouldn't really affect the market. Like if Salvation Army had, I don't know, like that Callaway dress that I just sold on Poshmark or Depop, whatever I sold it for, that wouldn't resell well on Whatnot. I'd probably only get like $5 to $10 for that on Whatnot, but on Depop, on Mercari, on Poshmark, on eBay, that's going to sell for a lot more. How many viewers do you have on your Whatnot show? On a Whatnot show that warrants that type of leverage, considering asking my Plato's Closet, I would wait until you build that platform. Don't do it right away, because it sounds like you're about to do your first show. What I would say is wait till you build your platform and you have sales behind you where you can walk into the store and say, hey, in the last 6 months, I sold $50,000 worth of stuff on Whatnot. I would love to be able to bring my audience to your store and just buy your stuff at your costs, but just a little bit less. And then I'll make that little average, and I'll go through your store and just run items within your store if you guys are cool with it. But don't do it right away, because you don't have enough leverage. You haven't had any like crazy sales. You don't have sales to back it up. You don't have a track record, so I wouldn't do that right away. Oh, I know you're not complaining about it, Oliver. I know you're not complaining about it. Smart partner with a thrift store. Thanks for the insight. Yeah, I think working with thrift stores could be really, really lucrative. Yeah, if Red, White, and Blue hit me up today and said, hey, we want you to run all our high dollar items on your Whatnot shows, we'll have a rack in the back for you. All you have to do is come once a week. I think that would be a good partnership for me and them. It would make a lot of sense. But again, I would cherry pick their items. I wouldn't just run everything that they gave me, because a lot of the stuff they're going to give me are like those men's Eaton shirts that they price at $100 that I know are only going to sell for like 8 to 10 on my Whatnot show. I need to get my bum selling 3,600. Wait, what? Good afternoon. I need to get my bum selling 3,600 car repairs. What do you mean by that? What does that mean, Carolyn? Or Carolyn, what does that mean? Your car repairs? I think you meant car parts, maybe? You got 3,600 car parts? Car parts are good on eBay. Next up, we got a cool shirt. This one we picked up locally in a bulk buy for $7. This one sold for $24.99 plus ship. Full price sale. Cool shirts are selling really, really well right now. Obviously, outdoor hiking season. This is the time of the year to be picking these up. Someone bundle 5 of my items on Poshmark. Nifty to offer them my usual 10% discount, but I'd love to offer a bigger discount. Is there a way for me to do that? You can't do that individually on Nifty, but I think there is a setting within your offers where you can turn off bundle offers, or you can make bundle offers. So I'd check that within your settings. But what I would do is, if you've sent that offer out and you can't send another offer because obviously you've sent one already out with Nifty, let's say you want to be able to offer 20% off instead of 10% off, what I would do is message the person within the bundle and say, hey, by the way, if you're interested, I sent you a 10% offer, but I'll actually do 20% on this bundle because you're buying so much. Feel free to counter offer at 20% if that works for you, and send it within the bundle, and make sure you tag the person too so they get a notification on their phone. So if it's K-Way Shop that you're trying to tag K-Way Shop, and then send that message to them. They'll get a notification on their phone, and then if they like it, they'll make that counter offer at 20% off. Maybe she needs to get her bum moving because she has car repairs. Oh, you have $3,600 worth of car repairs. Got you. That makes sense. Yeah, you need to get your bum moving. Get some stuff listed. Or didn't you just win? Is it you who won the iPad within the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks on our Whatnot shows? I think it was you, right? Just sell the iPad. Some Carolyn won. I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody else, but I think it was you. Pronounce cool or cool. I've always called it cool. Chat, what is it called? Everybody in the chat, is it called cool, like cool outside, or is it cool? I've actually never heard anybody pronounce it cool before. What you got going on today, Wayne? So shipping today, good question. Shipping today, after shipping, we have to clean because we got our first showing of the house later today. So we have a bathroom in the garage we never really used, and some of the tile needs some extra work on it. So I bought one of those brush tools, the ones that you put on the end of the drill, and I'm just going to throw some cleaner on there and try to brush off some of the tiles. It's just got a little bit of mildew, obvious mildew from being outside, because we never use that bathroom. It's like an old school wash up shower that you would use after you like fix your car and then you go in there instead of walking in your house, or like if you worked all day, instead of dragging the dirt in your house, you just go in the garage really quick and take a shower. That's the kind of shower that's out there. So we never used it because, yeah, I used to use it when I worked at the post office, but I don't use it anymore. So we got to clean that. That's number one. And then just making sure all the loose ends are tied up. We're going to clean up this room a little bit so it looks nice. And then later on tonight, we got a showing. Elliot says cool. That's how I pronounce it. You're cool. I know people with the last name Cool and they pronounce it cool. Okay, there we go. We've corrected it to cool. I've actually, I've never heard somebody call it cool, but I could have been wrong this whole time. I pronounce Hermenegildo Zegna. I say it all the time, and people are like, it's Hermenegildo Zenya. I'm like, who cares? That's how I pronounce it. Next up, we got a FootJoy golf polo. This one's got a nice plaid pattern. Normally, just plain FootJoy polos I don't pick up, but this one with a nice plaid pattern is definitely pick up, especially this time of year. Paid $7.47. This one nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and this person accepted, so it sold for $20.70. I list these just like a list Polo Ralph Lauren shirts for, looking to make like a $10 to $15 profit depending on what they sell for. And this one sold pretty quick. I think it's been listed for about a month, so I'll take that for a FootJoy golf polo, a little bread and butter. Like GIF or GIF, still don't know. I don't know either. That one I've always called it a GIF, but I don't know if it's called GIF or GIF. We're all learning. It's like coffee and coffee. Nobody knows how to pronounce that either, especially if you're from New York. That one's shipping out. I paid $4.57 for my label. Buyer paid $7.10. And then we got some good stuff. I should have done an order pool video. Maybe I'll do one if I sell anything throughout the day today. I'll do a little order pool short form piece of content. By the way, hopefully you guys like the little short form piece that I made. I always get the questions like, what do you do when you buy an item? Like what the processes are for getting the item listed completely. I am going to do that for a shipping video too, because I had a lot of people like, hey, on that video, few people asked about the shipping portion of it, like after you make a sale. So once that Orvis shirt sells, then I'll finish up that video with the whole like shipping portion. And then I plan, as soon as we move, to make a full length video on YouTube, and I'll put it out on Facebook as well, like the step-by-step process, because I left a lot of processes out on that video because obviously it was short form, and I'll make like a 10 to 15 minute video step by step, like going in detail on how we do our photos and all that. But hopefully you guys like that video. I got lots of requests for that video over the last couple of years. Polo Ralph Lauren men's size large full zip jacket. Picked this up for $8 locally. This one sold for $25. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it as long as it sells. Natalie, I like that. That's what I tell everybody. I don't know how to pronounce these things. I'm just a dumb guy that sells you shit online. I don't know how to pronounce it. Are you selling men's long sleeve shirts regularly? Absolutely. If you go to my eBay store, feel free to always, Kristen, my eBay store is always linked in my pinned post on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in my bio, in my link tree. Click that link tree. My eBay store is always linked there, and then you can just filter for sold on my store, and you can see exactly what I've sold for the last 90 days. If you look over the last 30 days, I've sold tons of long sleeve shirts. So feel free to always check that out, see exactly what I'm selling. That way you can learn what brands to pick up and all that stuff. Advice on shipping a golf club. Waiting for it to sell. The profit is 15-inch FedEx. Box is $7.50. Would it fit in ever ship? So chat. I'll ask chat this because I don't really ship golf clubs too often. I think the best way to ship golf clubs is either UPS or USPS Ground Advantage, correct? I don't think FedEx is the best way to ship those. Video would have been better if you yeah. Oh, those comments are still coming in. I'm loving it. I'm not replying to any more of them. The video's already taken off. Usually I'll reply in the first 3 or 4 days of the video, and then after that I just let it sit, and then everybody just goes crazy in the comments. But yeah, the steaming and ironing. I still can't believe the ironing. Hi Amy. What's up, Amy? Welcome in. Shipping tutorial would be perfect. Many of us really want to learn that. None of the videos. Yep, I'll do a shipping. And that other video that I do, I'll probably do a whole video with the listing process and the shipping process. I want to be able to tie that whole video in. And then on YouTube, I'll put the little pins. So if you just want to learn the shipping part, you can go to the shipping part of the video. If you want to learn the whole process, you can start from the beginning. A little video on all the settings for each account to help optimize sales. I could do that too. As soon as we move, my plan is, based off the houses we're seeing, I'm definitely going to have my own space to make videos. So when the kids are home, like right now, if the kids are home at like after 2:30, there's no videos being made until like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, because the kids would be in the background just being crazy, and I can't focus because it requires so much focus to make those videos, to make sure you hit every single key point. As soon as we move, I'm going to have my own space dedicated to making videos, and I'll be able to do those videos throughout the day, and then I'll start ramping up my YouTube. I tried to do it in the beginning of this year, but it was just too difficult with the space we have, with the kids being at home. It just was too hard. And guess what? The kids only have one more week of school, and then they're home for the summer. So it'd be definitely more difficult, because they're going to be home literally all day, every day. So yeah, good luck getting videos done at that point. Next up, Travis Matthew polo, similar to the FootJoy polos. These are selling right now, this time of year, very, very well. Once we move past the next couple months, these are going to start slowing down again, but still pick these up. I only paid $4.26 for this polo, and it sold for $20.70. Again, Nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and this person accepted. So nice little sale, not a huge profit, but again, this is bread and butter, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. There's some people out there making lots of lowball offers because this is summer slowdown. So if you can fit some lower dollar items that you can still make a decent profit on, I would suggest doing it, because it helps your store sell a little bit more. That one's going to ship out for $4.41. Buyer paid $6.90. And next we have a really good sale. One of my favorite women's brands to pick up. We sold one of these last week. I made a video on it. And we sold another one. So this is a Frank and Eileen women's shirt. This is a women's size medium. Picked this up for $8 locally in a bulk buy. My bulk buy guy usually only picks up men's, but he found this in the found this women's piece in the men's section. So he was like, "I seen this in your videos. I think this is one of the brands you picked up." So I paid $8 for this. That's the average buy cost across everything I buy from him. This one sold for full asking price of $54.99 plus shipping. Just a basic blue long sleeve shirt, but the brand is what actually sells this piece. If you look up what these retail for, I think these retail for like $200+. I think it's closer to like $250. So yeah, this person got a good deal on them because they obviously like this brand. They didn't have to pay full price. The shirt is in like pristine condition. It doesn't look like it's been worn at all. So this person got a good deal, saved some money, and that's definitely going to start happening this time of year too. Higher end items, if you can price them low enough and get them to move, I would definitely do it. This one sold, I don't know, this one was listed probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, because the inventory number is pretty high, and it sold really quick. So nice little sale. This one is going to be 6 ounces, so I'm paying $4.57, and the buyer paid $7.10 for the label. That one shipped. Next up, this next item is a really crappy item. Probably should have picked it up. I got it in a bulk buy. It was kind of just thrown in, and I was like, I don't really want it, but I ended up picking it up because, again, it was in a bulk buy locally. Sometimes you get stuck with pieces you don't like. So this is a plain Orvis shirt, just simple plain Orvis shirt. These do not sell that well. If you watch my video when I made that video about listing items, I picked up an Orvis shirt, but that one was 100% linen, and it was like a safari style shirt. This is just a plain button down Orvis shirt. These you do not pick up. I think in the bulk buy, I offered him like $2 or $3 for this, and he was like, "Oh, all right, I won't pick those up anymore." But yeah, it only sold for $13.50. It wasn't even really worth listing, but I decided to list it anyway. $13.50, paying $3 for this, it's still not worth it, even though there is profit to be made in that. It's just not worth it. Even if this was at the bins, I would probably pass on this. But sometimes the bulk buy gentleman I do bulk buys from, he just grabs things at random to try to figure out if I like them or not. This was one of those things he grabbed. He's probably seen Orvis in my videos, like the one I just posted. And he's like, "Oh, all Orvis is a pickup," but not all Orvis is a pickup. This is one of those ones that just, it's too plain. I think they sell these at Costco, to be honest. And at Costco, they're probably like $20 new, so they're not going to sell them for much more than $15 in pre-owned condition. But it did sell pretty quick. I will say this was listed for literally a week, less than a week, and it sold. So I priced it right. I priced it aggressive just to get it out of my store because I really didn't want it. Next up, we got a good sale right here. This is a Goodwill pickup. This is a men's Robert Graham shirt. Really good one. This one has the plaid here, and then also has a plaid like hidden within the actual shirt. These basic blue ones, the purple ones, the white ones, the black ones that look just like this, they sell really, really well, and I always list them a little bit higher. Some people say they can't sell their Robert Graham shirts, but I'll tell you the reason they sell is because of my cover photo. This is what my cover photo looks like for these Robert Graham shirts. Similar to like the Orvis shirt. When everybody was telling me in that video, like, hey, you're never going to sell that shirt because it's all wrinkly. As long as your cover photo draws the person into your listing, you will sell your items. That's all that it requires. Get the person into your listing. Most people just make their decision based off this photo and based off the title. But there, this Robert Graham shirt is not, it has some wrinkles in it. It's still sold for full asking price of $34.99. But this is what draws the customer in, not the rest of your photos. The rest of your photos, in my opinion, don't really matter. That's just to show the buyer what they're getting. But that cover photo is what draws them in. So paid $7.47 for this, and as you saw, sold for $34.99 plus shipping. Nice little sale. Love picking up Robert Graham's. I know some people say they have issues with it, but the best way to list them is with that flip cuff. You flip that flip cuff, and then you take that photo with that flip cuff laying across the chest, and usually always gets the item to sell. Oh, I'm missing some comments. Need box recommendations for a golf club too? That I have no clue. Somebody in the chat can help you with that. Either you sold a ton, or you like hearing yourself. Which one? Get the hell out of here. I missed all these comments. Wayne, did you do a video on how to figure out cost per item? Because I've heard some people do it cost per shopping. That is up to you, Danny. You can either do like if you buy 50 items and you paid $100 for them, your average cost could be $2, even though one of those items could have been 50 and the rest were all $1. You can do an average cost of goods if you want to do it that way, or if you want to track each individual item, that's what we do. So we know exactly how much we're making on each item, as opposed to, hey, I bought 50 items or 100 items and I paid $50 for a new tag Robert Graham shirt and I paid $1 for the rest. That's going to skew that item. So if that item sells for 150, it's going to look like we made a ton of money, but we really didn't because we paid 50 for it. So we choose to do it that way. And the way we do that is we put the cost of goods into each one of our listings. But if you wanted to do an average cost of goods, if you go to like the flea market or you do a huge bulk buy, you're obviously probably going to do an average cost of goods on that, kind of like what I do on my bulk buys. But yeah, you don't have to you just figure out which way you want to do it. Either way works perfectly fine because you're still going to get the same profit at the end after you sell all the items, whether you did average or if you did each individual item. So you're gonna get your own room, yeah. I'm gonna get bunk beds, and Serps is gonna come over and stay the night, and then we're gonna play video games. We're gonna trade Pokemon cards, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. And Kayla's gonna make us pizza pockets. That's what she told us. Congratulations on a new home. No, not a new home yet, but we're gonna sell it. We gotta sell this one first. I have a good question. I have scheduled listings out through 5:30. About 8 listings drop on eBay a day. What things should I prioritize to drop now instead of later? You made me think. Travis Matthew polos. I would say if you have summertime pieces, list them now. Yeah, list your summertime pieces ASAP because they're selling hot, especially polos and things like that. Yeah, that's what I would say. Summertime items, prioritize those first. How fast did Orvis take the Orvis to sell? It only took we literally just listed that last week. So it sold really quickly, but I shouldn't have picked that one up. You even packed the shirt with a cover photo. Yes, just like the cover photo has the cuff on the front of the shirt. So, did y'all end up paying off the house? No. If you watch the YouTube video, you'll see we didn't pay off the house. We kind of gave up on that challenge. I didn't do the numbers correctly. I didn't break them down like Renzi does. If I would have broken them down like Renzi does, we probably would have hit that goal. Do you do all of your men's cover photos close up like that, Robert Graham? I'll show you in just a second. Hold on, that's a good question. This is why when everybody was telling me that shirt will never sell because my photos were bad, I was just like shaking my head because of how many people, like when people watch these lives, they're like, dude, you have like really, really good cover photos. And then the people on that video were all trolls and they were like, your cover photos suck. You're never going to sell that item. So, yeah. Here, I'll show you what my listings look like. I wonder if I can just go to my eBay store like this. Here's my eBay store. You take your comment off. Every single one of our shirts, unless they have like some detail on the front or detail on the back that I have to highlight, look like this. Every single one. Uniform, they look nice. Some are closer than others, but that's what if you go through all of my pages, almost all of my shirts look just like this. Even like these, like the cover photos for the certain categories, they look like this. All super uniform, super nice. Again, the cover photo, these photos right here that you're seeing are what is going to sell your item. It's going to get the person into your listing. So the more like uniform you can make your store, the more nice it looks. When people come into your store, which does actually happen pretty often, they're going to go through and they're going to pick a couple of these shirts out because they like what it looks like. So depends on where you buy to determine how you cost goods. Yep. So if you buy, like I said, if you buy at the flea market and then you do like buy, you bring cash at the flea market, you're not going to track every single item that you buy. Or if you do garage sales, you're not going to track every single item that you buy. With thrift stores, I like to do it because our cost of goods is a little bit higher. So yeah, super, super nice. That's why I was laughing when people were saying, you're never going to sell those items. Your photos are trash. It's like, okay. Whatever you say. Cover photo. Cover photo is the most important. I'd say the title will obviously help them search the item, but the cover photo is what brings them into your listing and gets them to buy your listing. So Tommy Bahama shirt, just a basic men's Tommy Bahama shirt. It's got a nice floral pattern to it. These I don't list super high. If this one had a better pattern, I would have listed it for around $35. But because it's just more of a basic Tommy Bahama, I listed this for $25. Nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and this person accepted. I paid $8 for this locally in a bulk buy. It sold for $22.50. I do the same thing for my cover photos. Yep, highly suggest it, and do like a little, do whatever you think looks good to your eye when it comes to cover photos. Cover photos, again, they're just there to draw the buyer in, but once you get the buyer into your listing, yeah, there's somebody I'll show you guys a store on eBay right now that has an insane cover photo for their ties. I've showed this store a couple times on my lives, but I wish I could sell all ties and do the cover photo that this person does, but I have yet to figure out how they get the cover photos so freaking nice on their listings. And I'll show it in just a second. Let me ship this order out first. Their store is called Sherry's Bargains, I think. It's just an amazing store. Have you ever done a live about how you structure your back end spreadsheets? I struggle with paying myself. So my spreadsheets, basically right now, Nifty does all my spreadsheets for me. So let me show you. I don't actually bring in any of my listings or any of my sales. Nifty does it all for me. So as you can see right here, it tells me how many sales, how much average order profit, how much average sales price I have across all 3 platforms. As you see, Mercari's not even in here anymore because Mercari sucks. But anyways, gives me my charts here, gives me how much I'm selling on each platform, all of that. I can go into the profits. I can put in expensive. I make a profit and loss sheet here. All of that's done from Nifty. It automatically gets downloaded in here. I have an inventory part where I can cross list. So let's say I want to cross list this men's Orvis over to Poshmark. I just come here. Now this item is listed to Poshmark. So you're able to cross list. You're able to get your analytics. You're also able to share, send out offers, all that stuff. It all happens right here on Nifty. So yeah, if you need something to do that for you, Nifty is linked in my description of this video. That's what we do for Nifty. To do Whatnot spreadsheets, we do all that off of just a basic spreadsheet. We actually use Jason Hayes' spreadsheet to do all that information on, and that's also linked in my bio. If you want Nifty, by the way, free trial is in the comments right now. Somebody asked about a store on eBay. Let me look up this store. I think I have them in my saved sellers, but I don't know how to look up my saved sellers on eBay. I know how to do it on my phone. Save sellers. Can I look up? Why doesn't it let me look up all my save sellers? Hang on. If I just look up, I'm gonna show you guys how I can find this person's listing from just looking up this. I just looked up Xenia Tai. I know for a fact this is the person that I'm looking for. Sherry's Bargains. Look at that. I don't even have to look. Hold on, not showing you. I don't even have to look for their store. I just got to look up Xenia Tai, and boom, Sherry's Bargains is right there. The reason I found their store is because their photos drew me in. Their photos are amazing of their ties. Let's switch back to this screen. Oops, not that screen. I'm already on that screen. Replay screen. Go to this one. That's her store right there. Those two are her store. Let me scroll through. That's her store right there. That's her store. That's her store. That's her store. I could literally go down. That's not her store. That's her store. I could go through all these listings and literally pick out all of her ties out of here without even looking. Like, I know that this is her store for a fact. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open up that listing and I'm going to replace it with this. Boom. Sherry's Bargains. Literally found her store from the photos. I didn't even have to look into her store. And the reason is because she takes this cover photo every single time. I cannot figure I know she does a background removal. I know she ties the tie correctly, and that's how she gets it. But I can't figure out how she does it how she makes it every single time look so freaking uniform. It's crazy. Let's go into her store really quick. Let's go into her store. This is what her store looks like. I would say her cover photo, like this needs a little help. I wish she would fix that. But anyway, she's selling a bunch of stuff. Look how uniform the store is. I don't know how she gets it every single time when she's listing to make it look like this knot right here. It's so good. And I've tried to tie ties to make it look like this. I don't know if she uses like a machine or she just has tied so many ties that it just looks like this every time. But like, look at that. It is so nice. So freaking nice. And she sells, look at this. If you don't think ties sell, just look at her store. She currently has I'd say around 2,000 current listings. 2,000 current listings, and then sold, she has around 1,500 sold. So she has a 75% sell-through rate every 90 days on her ties. Look what these ties are selling for. Absolutely insane. Sherry's Bargains. You can find her. Just look up any brand of ties, and trust me, you'll find her store. She ties the ties. That's not, I know, but how do you get it so uniform? Like I've tied ties before and they never look like that. Like perfect. Yeah, it's insane. The level of perfection on those ties is absolutely wild. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. All right, let's go ahead and ship out the last couple of orders really quick. Boom, boom, boom. We got 2 more orders to ship out, and then we are done for the day. Orders awaiting shipment. Next up, we got a Vineyard Vines men's dress shirt, just a plain Vineyard Vines men's dress shirt. Pick this up locally in a bulk buy. This one sold for $22.99. You're gonna hear me saying that a lot because we're not really going thrifting too often nowadays, and I'm getting a lot of my stuff locally from bulk buys. As soon as we move, I'm gonna go back out and start thrifting again, but we just don't have time to with the house and setting up Whatnot shows and all that stuff. As soon as we move, we are going to go back out to the thrift stores. I'm actually excited because in Riverview they have a couple stores we haven't been able to hit yet. And we're going to learn all the new stores out in Riverview. But yeah, that one picked up in a bulk buy, and the next shirt I picked that up in a bulk buy too. This one's going to ship out for $4.62. Buyer paid $7.15. I'm hungry. My belly's gurgling. And last shirt that we have to sell is a men's Ralph Lauren shirt. This one has a really good pattern to it. It's just like a common Ralph Lauren pattern, but it's a good like spring, summertime pattern. And this is also a stretch shirt. Nice plaid to it. This exact plaid pattern sells so freaking well. Pick this up locally in a bulk buy. Again, paid right around $8 for this. This one sold for full asking price of $24.99 plus shipping. Nice little sale right there. And that is the last order. If you guys got any last minute questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. If not, I'm going to head off. I'll try to put out a short form piece of content today, although we do have a lot of work we got to get to with cleaning up the house, make sure it's nice for our first showing. But if I can make a little short form piece, maybe I'll do an order pool video if I sell anything else today, and you guys will see that. But yeah, Whatnot shows this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We got a consignment show on Saturday, and then a new tag show on Sunday. So come out to both of those shows. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. What made you switch from Nifty for eBay instead of using Jason's thing? Because the inventory, it automatically gets downloaded right into in Nifty. I don't have to go through and hand put any of the information in for Nifty. With Jason's spreadsheet, every single item, every single order had to be individually put into the spreadsheet. Also, same thing with inventory too. Inventory, if you use Jason's spreadsheet and you tracked all your inventory, every single time an item came in, you had to put that into Jason's spreadsheet. Whereas Nifty, you just download all of your inventory right into Nifty. It will always keep all of your sales information on Nifty. So if you look up my inventory, it's a good question. If you look at my inventory, if you just click, as you can see, I have 2,168 items listed. If you go to sold, it's kept every single one of my sales in here. Every single sale. I don't have to go through and figure out when an item sold, what it sold for, what I paid for it. All of that information is right here too. So that's another step that you don't have to take, that you had to take with Jason's spreadsheet. The only thing Jason's spreadsheet I use for right now is Whatnot, because Nifty doesn't have Whatnot integrated. But as soon as Whatnot's integrated, it should do the same exact thing. It should track all of your Whatnot orders across the board, all of your stats. Everything is going to be downloaded right into Nifty. So They are AI. They probably are. They are Allen Iverson. That's for sure. I saw that video the other day. I forget what basketball team or no football team it was. They used AI. They said you should just use. Oh, it was the Bills. You should just use AI, and that was Allen Iverson. Anyways, it's a sports joke. Where do you get the flat lay hanger for the background? Trisha Smith sells the flat lay hanger. She doesn't have any available right now. As soon as she has more available, I post them to my Facebook page. She makes them in small batches, very, very small batches. That's actually one of her hangers right there that she handmade for me. But yeah, she makes them in small batches. As soon as they're available, just look at my Facebook page. Make sure notifications are on for all my posts. I'm going to try to push her to make some more within the next couple weeks. I've had a lot of requests after I made that video. But yes, they should be available soon. So $9 until I hit Diamond. Let's go. You'll hit it this weekend. Yeah, Diamond. This weekend, the consignment show has such good stuff. It's going to be insane, the level of inventory we have. And then the New With Tag show. We're going to start the New With Tag items, I think, at $10. It's a really good athleisure brand that I haven't seen anybody run on Whatnot that we sell often, resale, like pre-owned. So I'm like really happy to get it for a good price that I can pass on to you guys at a good price too. So make sure you come out to Sunday show. It's going to be a surprise. Appreciate you, Kristen. Appreciate you. I also want hangers too. Yes, I'll push her to make some more hangers for you guys because I got lots of requests. I got lots of DMs about it too, about the hangers. I was like, I don't have them. I don't make them. Trisha makes them. As soon as we have more available, we'll let you know. I think she's at Disney today, so when she gets back from Disney, I'll let her know. But anyways, appreciate you guys hanging out. I am going to head off. Again, Whatnot show Saturday, Sunday this week. Video hopefully today. And go watch all the previous videos if you haven't seen them over the last week. I posted like 3 videos this week, so I'm back on a little short video grind. So appreciate you guys hanging out.